we kind of overstepped with our polisher guy. He was going to call in, and then we forgot it was Deuce Week.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it's Deuce Week, too. So all you car fans, if you aren't doing anything this weekend and you're looking for another car show, there's Deuce Week at the Peterson Auto Museum in, where's that at, North Hollywood?
I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
There's
Studio City, kind of. No, I think it's NoHo, or
is it?
Yeah, that's the fancy word for North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right. the fancy part of North Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, they're celebrating the 80th anniversary of the 32 Ford.
Yeah. So that should be a pretty good deal. We were going to try and make it ourselves, but we just got too much going on right now, so we weren't able to make it. But I'm sure it'll be a pretty cool deal.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But anyways, like I was saying before the break, I was talking to my dad yesterday about the different chrome shops, and he was saying, started talking about a place called Father and Son that was in Glendale, where he used to get all his chrome done on his bike. He had a 56 Panhead, and then he had his 57 Chevy. And my mom said he spent a lot of time there. But that was back in the day when chrome was thick. Chrome was real and it was thick. You know what I mean? Nowadays it seems to be the redheaded stepchild in the hot rod world. It just it's hard to find good chrome, and when you do, you really gotta watch what you do. You gotta specify what you need, the kind of job you need done, and if you're going to do like a lot of modifying, like to bumpers and stuff, we're going to try and help you out with that. If you do, like I said, you do modify your bumpers and you need to weld everything, and you're cutting stuff and you're shortening them and you're making them hug the car better or whatever, you should probably go get it stripped. You know what I mean? Like me and Mitchell were talking last night, and we have just ground down the chrome, because if you grind down the chrome, you can get to the metal. If you try and weld onto the chrome, which we have seen, it's actually pretty amazing what we have seen.
Yeah.
The chances of you getting it re-chrome and not having to redo it again are very slim.
Yeah, if you're not going to get it stripped, you definitely want to make sure that you get all the way down past the copper and get to the actual steel when you're welding on it. Otherwise, it's not going to stand up structurally.
And we also recommend tigging it. The reason we're saying is because we've been there and done that. So when you MIG it and you wire feed it, what you're going to do is you're going to leave, it tends to leave little pits and little holes, and the chromers don't like that, because there's a process that they go through. It's almost like spreading Bondo over a dent, and the more dents you have, naturally the more expensive your paint job's going to be, or your chrome job's going to be. They go through a process. They go through a what is the process, Mitchell?
Well, I believe they first coat it in copper, and that is what they use as kind of like their Bondo.
Yeah.
And then
different layers, and then they sand it down, and
yeah, and then they do a nickel on top of that, because I believe that's what chrome sticks to the best. So they'll throw a nickel on top of that, and nickel also gives it the depth that chrome has.
Yeah. And then if you want your show chrome, which you really have to specify these days, is if you want show chrome, it's a matter of they polish the copper, right?
Yeah, they
so
actually
it gives it that real deep luster look and
buff the copper to a full shine.
Yeah. Then
first, and then they'll do nickel and chrome.
And then the chrome. Yeah. So, when you go, I recommend if you go to a chromer and you've torn down your car, and you need to distinguish what is aluminum, what is stainless steel, and what is metal, and what you're going to be getting chromed and what you're going to be polishing. Because aluminum, you're going to polish, and stainless steel, you're going to polish. And we have a great guy we use for stainless steel polishing and repairing. So I mean, we've repaired stuff that you would seriously think was unrepairable, that looks like it was ran over by a Big Mac truck or something.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He's
We got
in
a guy,
a category of his own.
Yeah, he just sits there and he just hammers it out, and it's actually, very reasonably priced for what he does and the amount of work he does. So if you do have any of that stuff, we can always help you out and point you to the guy, or just send it to us and we can take care of it for you. So we do a lot of customizing to our bumpers like we were talking about. So what we'll naturally do is we get it stripped down. It costs $50 or something for them to completely strip all the chrome, all the copper, everything off, so you're working with nice brand new metal that you can work with. And then you start from there. You start making your cuts and you start welding and you start fabricating, and then you send it to them, and sometimes they'll ask you to make changes, which they do a lot. They'll come and say, ooh, if you can do this, it's going to, help out in the price or whatever. You just got to, communication, I think, is really key these days, especially when you're dealing with some of these people, because there's just so many variables that can go wrong. And, if you're tearing a car apart, it's very, very important to label everything. Label it, lay it all out, and take pictures and document everything as much. Jeez, sorry about that. I've been talking so much this week. My voice is just, it keeps going out. So, yeah, but make sure that you label everything. You know what I mean? That's what we do.
Yeah, that's a big thing, because it's very known to, when you're dealing with chromers or even powder coating, polishing, if you don't have a list of every part you gave them, you'll end up with getting less parts in return. And we've lost so many parts that way.
Oh, man. I mean, we've lost parts that are hard to find parts. So the only way you're finding it is getting on eBay and, tracking it down and paying, twice as much as it's worth. And
that's another thing too, with nowadays with a lot of the cars, you can get reproduction chrome parts, and they're actually going to be way cheaper than getting something re-chromed.
Yeah, and some of the stuff they got out there nowadays is really good, I think.
Yeah, it's just with re-chroming things, you're paying for all that labor because of all the steps they have to take. So it's going to be way more expensive than find something new if you can get it.
Yeah, exactly.
For those out there on a budget.
Yeah, we've started using a guy called the Polishing Shop, and Alan over there, he's pretty good. He's reasonable, and he goes through all the different stages. You just got to communicate with him. So we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back after these words and talk a little more about chrome, and then we're going to have Richard calling from MagnaFlow, and should be pretty cool and exciting. So hang tight. We'll be right back.